C-SPAN? Really? C-SPAN. I didn't know that C-SPAN was still in existence. This network was irrelevant in the 90s when cable news and cable television were exploding in popularity. And in the year of our Lord 2025, C-SPAN is making headlines? For those that don't know, and I was alive in the 90s and I didn't know the purpose of C-SPAN, hell, I don't think the network has a purpose. Judging by their ratings, they are useless. But anyway, C-SPAN is a nonprofit public service that broadcasts proceedings involving the federal government. I thought we had NPR for that, National Putrid Radio, but I guess Congress felt like wasting billions of dollars more, so they created C-SPAN too? All kidding aside, I actually think C-SPAN is privately owned. It was founded by Brian Lamb. I don't think they receive government funding. I believe they just cover the federal government exclusively, which makes for painfully boring television. Another thing that I didn't know about C-SPAN, they have multiple networks. There is C-SPAN Dose and C-SPAN Trace. I don't remember anyone watching C-SPAN Uno, so why in the hell do we need 2 additional channels that no one is watching? Unsurprisingly, C-SPAN seems to be stuck in the 90s. Back in the 90s, it was trendy for popular radio and television shows to take phone calls from their audience. Hell, Paul Feinbaum, he made a career by answering the phone. The entirety of his show used to be taking calls from uneducated Alabama fans. Today, the media would call it exploitation of the underprivileged, but back then, it was called sports radio. You don't see it as often today. You don't see as many shows taking phone calls from their audience for the very reason I'm about to show you. But yesterday, as the Trumper was entering the White House, C-SPAN decided to take a phone call from their only viewer, and it went as expected. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Link to the main channels in the description below. Yesterday, some doofus was hosting C-SPAN's coverage of the inauguration. I tried to identify the doofus, but just like the people working at CNN, the dude is anonymous. But as he was hosting coverage of the inauguration, producers at C-SPAN, they were shocked to see a red light blinking on the telephone. Holy shit, someone's actually watching our dump! Patch him through, Rufus! Get this caller on the air so he can talk to our doofus! Whoever was hosting the show, he was as surprised as the producers that someone was actually watching C-SPAN. They immediately patched the caller through, and the conversation went as expected. Watch for yourself.
Graham in Jersey City, New Jersey, Democrats line.
Hi, I want to wish everyone a happy MLK Day. I hope everyone's staying warm. A bit disappointed how the election turned out. I think it would have been great to see a female president inaugurated today. While I'm disappointed in the American people and their desire to see another 4 years of Trump, I'm a bit more disappointed in the selection committee for not picking Alabama for the college football playoff finals, and instead picking inferior teams like SMU and Indiana. Truly dark times in America.
Okay, Graham there.
Have they ever heard of the 7-second delay? They have been using the 7-second delay in radio and television for decades now. I think the Howard Stern show was mandated to use it because they never knew what the hell he was going to say. In the year of our Lord 2025, how does a prank caller make it on the air? Credit to the dude hosting the show because he handled it like a true professional. He simply ignored the caller and moved on. But I'm just wondering how this made it on the air. The skeptic in me wants to think that this was a publicity stunt. I mean, seriously, when is the last time you heard anything about C-SPAN? I didn't hear about C-SPAN in the 90s. This is no bullshit. I didn't know C-SPAN was still on television until I saw this story. I had completely forgotten about them. If this was a publicity stunt, it worked. It got C-SPAN in the headlines for the first time in decades. But you tell me, was this a publicity stunt? Or is C-SPAN like the rest of the federal government incompetent. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.